Another banger. These rankings, I'm going to explain, are based off of not DPS. They're not meta. They're kind of meta tier lists. Not a trade tier list. Like a lot of these items are really rare, but really bad. What this is obtainability relative to the value you get out of it. Coral Staff, for example, again, the example I always give, is really easy to get, really useful for like the early game. It's a really good weapon. Moving on, the way I'll do this is new legendaries. I'll rank them. I'll talk about them. I'm going to say where they come from now because people are like, where do these drop from? I realize people don't know. And then I do the previous legendaries modifications if they need to be moved around. There's a lot of things that need to be moved. They decide to do like 40 buffs and 40 nerfs. It's terrible. And then I'll do other modifications because, of course, metas change. You know, an item from 3 weeks ago will suddenly become useful, and an item that we've been using for 2 weeks is suddenly complete ass. The first item, Magical Leaf Dagger. This drops from the pink little fairies that have no face in the Blossom biome. This is currently basically the highest DPS for 6 range. It's the best dagger in the game. It is 2000 DPS. It rivals a lot of things. The only issue I have with this item is that it requires you to be an actual glass cannon. You know, everyone always talks like all the tanks are like, man, you guys die in 1 hit. This build actually dies in 1 hit, okay? Like you have straight up 400 to 500 health, 500 hopefully ideally, and then you're wearing no defense, right? You have maybe 8 to 13 defense in your build. And I've seen a lot of people with this weapon die. If you're doing something that isn't dangerous, like any dungeon below floral biome, like if you're just trying to rip through, say you're doing achievement sign like Arctic Palace, bro, you can. The DPS allows you to skip, you know, slicer phase. It allows you free true hit list, by the way. It allows you to skip the Arctic deer phases. You could probably kill the Ice Force 1 solo before anything bad happens. And it scales with wisdom, of course, a great stat. It doesn't scale with vitality. I'm a baller hater. The baller's not moving, by the way. So, of course, let me just move it. To me, this isn't like a top tier weapon. It's of course S tier. It's in the S. But I wouldn't put it high S just because of the risk associated. Even the best players, bro, I'm watching them die using this weapon. It's good, but it's not viable for every person. You need to be pretty good at bullet hells to like make this work at all the high level bosses. Everything below Heroes of Spire, everything below Floral, you know, you can run this. Go delete everything. I watch people get like, you know, one-shotting basically. They kill the Woodland biome boss in 4 seconds. They kill, you know, the Wooded Thicket boss in 1 second. It's good. I would not use this if I had it because I'm scared. I'm terrified. And on top of that, it requires you use a Pixelween hat to get the most bang for your buck. It's unobtainable. It gets you 40 wisdom with its passive wearing a robe and everything. The next best option only gives you 18 wisdom. So you need this hat, right? If you don't have this hat, don't use this weapon. Anyways, next weapon, Blossom Axe. I'm going to do this one quickly because the Floral Axe I want to talk about more. This axe is very good, kind of. Shoots in a circle around you, which I'll get into why that's really good with an analogy from another game. It has good range. It does decent damage. The problem is its passive is a complete buns. Like this is a useless passive. I don't know when you'd ever benefit from this properly. Its DPS kind of bad. Like its base DPS like 300 or something. As you can see, like 1 shot per second, 300. Then you add on top of that, you know, whatever your dex is, whatever your attack. It's not incredible. The best thing you can do is you stack a bunch of axes around you and then like dump them on a boss. But I'll talk about that with the next axe. This is an A tier because there's an axe that's so similar that's just better. It's harder to get, but it's just better. So like I'm putting it up here, but you know, moving to the next axe is what's really important. This axe is busted, bro. This axe is so good. Hold on, I'm putting it up here. Obviously, I'm gonna do modifications. Here's why this axe is good, right? It shoots 3 shots. It does a bunch of damage. It scales with health, which you may be like, oh, but you hate tanks. Scaling with health is really busted because you can have a lot of health. Like you could have a ton of health. This weapon's base max hit is like 105. It allows you, it's not like a defense scale. Like you don't have to lose things. Getting a bunch of health doesn't really cost anything. So the reason this weapon's busted, I'm gonna show this. I'm bringing this over, okay? Gonna make sure this is on screen. I'm bringing this over. So this is what it looks like. It shoots a little ring around you. It shoots 3 projectiles. By nature, this weapon, it stores its damage, right? Pretending it's a bow, right? You know, triple projectiles. It's like a slow bow. Because of that, it does 1500 to 2000 DPS, depending on your build, depending on your gear. Like I have like the best things you can have. In another game, there is a thing where when you heal, your weapon stops attacking. And because this weapon is one of the only weapons that sort of keeps your damage when you're not attacking, it ends up having much more DPS than you might think. Imagine if when you used a health potion, your weapon stopped attacking for a second. Wouldn't it make sense that oh, I'm only going to heal when I'm not near the boss to attack, and maybe I'm running away. Maybe, you know, something happened, I have to dodge an attack. He runs away from me. This weapon is essentially perpetually doing that because it's saving your damage. Or I stopped attacking. It saves your damage. And because of that, you can sort of back up and then go back in and do like 5,000 DPS. You dump a bunch of damage. It's storing your DPS. It's incredible. And that ability is only available with like these 2 axes currently, which makes it really good. The downsides of this weapon, I'd say, are the fact that you can't see shit. Like, I think they need to add something to make your own projectiles invisible or something. Maybe simple, so they're like little circles. I can't see, bro. You can't see. You have this ring around you. It's awful. It's the worst thing ever. I'll talk about the crush stacks when I modify it. You can also just like stack them. But another thing this axe does, because it sort of saves your DPS, when you teleport to someone, you know how you have that like cooldown where you can't attack and you feel defenseless? Your ring stays. Like, it doesn't despawn the ring. So it allows you to just keep up damage even if you're not able to attack. It's pretty busted, and the best thing about it is you get health, so you're pretty durable. A weapon that scales with health makes it so you can kind of get away with being 1,000 HP one day. That's it on this weapon. I love it. Let me get rid of this. I love this weapon. Like, it's my king. It's my baby right now, and I think everyone should use it. Low key, it's kind of insane. Because you can store DPS, you just like completely DPS cheese things. It's crazy. This armor I'm putting in A solely because if you were doing a wisdom build before you were forced to use a robe, maybe you need wisdom, say you're using a rattling bow or a mushroom bow, you were forced to use a robe. Now you can have like kind of crazy defense and the man and the wisdom. It's basically a heavy armor plus a green buzz ring. It's like a low A. It's pretty solid. It drops from the butterfly boss, which is annoying to farm. So, you know, whatever. The Rose Gauntlet, I'm mad at this weapon, or this item, I mean. It's worse than a Ring of Horrors on every weapon except a Piercer's Bow, which I will do next. I just don't understand why they didn't make it 13 dex. It could have been better than a tier 3 gauntlet. You know, it could have been the 13 dex gauntlet. If you have this, you use it instead of a tier 3 gauntlet. It just seems kind of weird that they kind of backtracked. Like, why are you so scared of giving it 3 more decks? The Ring of Horrors is an item that was released 3 weeks ago. This is better. It's better than it, but because it's good with a Piercer's Bow, it's like a decent A. It's a really good item, right? It's kind of like a Ring of Horrors that you can get, and it's not too hard to get. Again, it's from the thing. It's a great DPS choice, right? Like, that's better than the axe. I'd rather have this than the axe, okay? The Piercer's Bow. This weapon, when it got released, it was really buns, and they kept buffing it. The issue I have with this weapon, even though it scales with dex, is the scaling's really low, and you only really get like 1,000 DPS out of this. Even with the Piercer's flag, which gives you dex as well, you only break like 1,300 sometimes, and it has 7 range. I don't know why they love to just not give you the range. They love to take away range. Both should have 8 range. If this had 8 range, it'd be like a high S. I'm putting the very, very, very low. It's definitely a much better weapon than a lot of other choices. Like, why are we so scared of giving the bow 8 range? It needs to go like up here though, actually. Crusher's armor, it has 100 health. Its only purpose is the Blossom Axe. It's one of those things. It's kind of like how the John Doe pants are really, really garbage, but their only purpose was the baller. Wear this over a true ice armor because it has less minus speed. It's minus 6 defense. It's just kind of in that class of like tank armor. So I'm gonna put an average because on its own it's completely mediocre, but you gotta get from Crusher. Crusher is kind of mid anyway. Like, I don't know, it's like a high average. I would not wear this on its own. Like, I would not be like, yeah, this is all I got, this is my best armor, I'm putting this on. No, don't wear this unless you are using a weapon that scales with health. There may be more in the future. Use dex armor. Use like a tier 6 dex armor. It's the only purpose of this armor is scaling health. Okay. Slicer's bomb. This bomb is really good, but also really bad. And if you look at very closely, that's passive. Burning for 25 seconds. What does that mean? That means if you throw this and then switch to another bomb, you just get like a passive 800 damage. I'm not so sure if it's worth the effort, but it's not completely useless. If you want to like switch bombs and use it, it's good. It's kind of a headache. If it was like 3k DPS or something, like, I'd be willing, but it's kind of similar to like Poppy a Venom spell in terms of mana efficiency for damage. And it takes 20 seconds, so you can't really use it on a lot of things. You have to use it on things that are going to be alive. It's usable. It's definitely not as bad as some items in this game. It is usable. The necklace. This item suffers a horrible fate. It's a tooth necklace with vitality instead of 80 HP. Like, it's 80 HP versus 50 HP and 10 vitality. I'd rather have the health. I think everyone would. This only purpose is scaling with vitality weapons. So, you know, I'll just put it near a tooth necklace. It really is just It's a tooth necklace, bro. Whatever. It's much harder to get than a tooth necklace, though. It's a tooth necklace that, in order to get it, instead of killing a little baby worm, you have to like grind your gears, you know, shred your teeth into pieces, fighting baller, grinding them as you have to clench so hard to not get one shot. So if you're, don't go out of your way to get this item. Get a tooth necklace if you want a necklace that does this. Okay, they're the same thing. This is a bow that got leaked, the Blossom bow. Useless garbage. First of all, you can't get it, and second of all, I don't know how they're gonna make this bow good. Like if they do release it, like it's too late, too little, too late, bro. Get this out of here. Next step is the modifications. I'm gonna move a bunch of things around. I have a lot. I think I have like 15. I want this tier list to be something you can be like shove in someone's face and be like, use these items, and they won't like die. Like there's no caveats about it. The budding totem, where is she? They decided to nerf totems as a whole. This item's only use is the gauntlet in like a big group as the wisdom guy, you know, sending out healing. These are the old stats, by the way. These are the new stats. Got you, you know. You thought, you were like, oh, that doesn't look that bad. Now does it look bad? Yeah, I'm putting this in rarely used. I don't recommend this to anybody. Do not camp a budding totem. Put this in the vault. Trade this away. It's just buns, but I don't know why they did this to totems. They really don't like us to use totems. Here's one thing about Boomweaver. They said they buffed this, but this is an image from a week ago, and this is an image now. The plus 80 means that it's like, it's still 275 max hit. This is still 275 max hit. I'm not really sure if they just like messed up or something, but either way, with my build running like 30 defense with a Ring of Horrors, this clocks in at like 1400 DPS. It's pretty good. You know, this is moving up. Swords are getting like better because they've kind of made boss in a way that half the phases you can sword, and you want a sword because projectiles are annoying to use when you're like point blank. It's just, this is going up. You know, this is now a valid weapon because I'm biased and my build makes it the best. I'm putting it at the top of A tier for now. And you know, just while I'm here, just, you know, go away, mushroom bow. Like the mushroom bow is good, but you know, I'll move the rallying bow later too. I'll move the rallying bow now. The rallying bow is just honestly just like down here. You can't get any more really, and it's just like there's much better options these days. Piercer's flag. Okay, they made, where is he? This flag right here. They completely went back. As you can see, this is just a blossom flag. They went crazy. They made this the best flag in the game while simultaneously nerfing all the other flags. This is immediately an S tier. Amazing item. Like, put this up here, bro. Like, it's a great flag. It's, I mean, it gives 20 dex. It's 40% DPS projectile. It's insane. Nobody's gonna argue this. It's cracked, and its use of the 70 health means you can use it with a floral axe, which I'm like a enjoyer of now. So S tier. No one's gonna have a problem with that. John Doe's dagger. I'm modifying this. Let me see what I wrote down about this item because I don't even really remember. They buffed it a lot. Yeah, it's no longer rarely used. Like, you can use this. I still have an issue with basing a build around speed, simply because being like 150 speed, it's hard to control. It's the same principle as in FPS games. Lower sensitivity is better. It's just harder to be more accurate. Of course, you can hold shift to, you know, be a slow mode, but it's just kind of awkward to be that fast, I feel. Of course, speed also is becoming more and more useless because they have released dungeons that you don't really want to rush, like the heroes. It's a respectable item, right? I wouldn't say rarely used. Like, if you have this, you want in your speed build, you want to be more speedy, it's the best option for speed. It's just the king of the attribute. But again, average compared to what exists now. Crusher's hammer, no longer useless garbage. I rescind my statement. To all people who were like saying it's not useless garbage 2 weeks ago, you're wrong. And I know you're wrong because they had to 8 times the burn damage to make this weapon good. But what this now does is it is the highest damage per attack weapon in the game, because all you have to do is tag something and then it just takes 2000 damage. That kills everything in the overworld. It kills most mini bosses. I don't think it would kill like a Snow King or anything. It one shots like floral biome things. You just tag them and run. Like, you can farm kills. It's just an S tier. It's not that hard to get. It's from Here's the Spire. With other axes, you can just throw it out and then switch to like a previous axe. And with that, you get the burn damage and you get to use a weapon. On its own, it's 500 DPS. Like, if you're just constantly hitting, it's 500. It's really bad. It even tells you, like, you can kind of see 1.3 a second, about 100 damage. The burn damage is 300 DPS. You can kind of tell. But if you let the burn happen and switch to another weapon, you just get a bunch of value. Like, it becomes like 1500 damage for one hit. It's really good. For 1 second of your time, it gives like 1500 DPS. Good weapon. No longer useless garbage. If you have this, use it. Like, go clear the overworld. It's great. Mushroom Bomb. Again, we talked about Budding Totem. It's really weird to me that they nerfed totems and didn't touch this item, because this item was already the most mana efficient for health in the game. It kind of seems like with the changes, they just were like, hey man, let's make the meta Mushroom Bomb. Like, and it's also really easy to get. You go into Mushroom Den and kill the mushrooms completely free. And so it's just the best healing item in the game. I mean, we put it up here. It's just what you should be using no matter what. Do not use totems, don't use Budding Totem. You can use, it's basically between Flag and Mushroom Bomb. I don't think there's any other spells except Venom Spell for DPS. Like, these are kind of the big three right now. That and Toxic Fluid if you want like the little DPS switch. And other than that, there's no other spell that's worth using anymore. It's a really weird stage of the game. Like, the meta is changing and it kind of feels like they're forcing us into this, but it's fine. The Fire Helm, this hasn't changed at all. It's still a good item, but I'm getting rid of it simply because I feel like you shouldn't even be doing Woodland Ruins anymore. You should be doing the quests, and then you shouldn't be doing Woodland Ruins. Like, it's a slow dungeon. The other two items are complete garbage. So, of course, if you have this, it's good to use, but it's not what it used to be, you know? It's just not worth going out of your way to get anymore. It's still, like, solid, but I wouldn't recommend someone, yeah, go do Woodland Ruins, get yourself a Fire Helm. Like, no, don't do that. Don't. It's not worth it anymore. Icebreaker, this item they made really good. Do I have the old stats? I do. Minus 25 speed, over 100 less damage, like default damage. Really good. Now, basically what you're training on equip is 10 speed for 10 defense. It's kind of like having a quest. It's 10 speed or 10 defense. Everybody's choosing 10 defense. So whenever you can use a sword, a lot of phases, this is a really good option for everybody, because no matter what your build, you're going to become tanky with sort of no downsides. And on my build, if you saw a stat video, it's about 1100 DPS on a good day. So it's a really good, you know, you can break 1,000. Anyone with my build can break 1,000 DPS. If you're struggling with that, you're like, why am I always 800 D? You can break 1,000 with this item alone. That's all you need. You just need this item. So this is immediately going S tier. Not too high because it's really annoying to get. You get it from Ice Forest, and nobody likes doing Ice Forest, but a good item, okay? I respect the Icebreaker. I never let see a day. There's axes and swords in S tier, okay? This is, and daggers. It's a crazy day. The pendants, I'm moving down. The reason I'm moving them down is because we're past the point where 75 health is worth it. And a lot of the builds that people are using now are builds that benefit a lot from their accessories. So when you switch your accessory, you are kind of forced to lose a lot of your power. Take, for example, the Magic Leaf Dagger. If you take the Pixelween hat off, you lose 40 wisdom, which is like 40 damage. It's just not worth it. Ahi Reaper, same deal. It's just there's too many builds where you don't want to take your accessory off. I no longer feel as if it's worth even bother with this. It's not worth the hassle. Things are hitting 100s. Why are we healing 75? Spam your potions. So this is going in, honestly, rarely used. The Haunting Pendant I'll keep in average just because it's the highest defense accessory. So all the tanks, you know, I got to make them happy. They do camp this. That's the only time you'd ever use this item. But the normal Soothing Pendant, it's just not worth using anymore. It's just not, I don't think anybody, I've seen like 2 people in the past 2 weeks with this item on and like just switching to it. It's just, I don't do it anymore. I don't bother. It's not really an S to me. I want the S tiers to be like, if you showed people just the S tier, they'd be like, yeah, I agree with that. Those are good items. The Broomstick, this item is also, it's a collector's item now. This item sits in a place where if you have this item and it is your best item, trade it. Trade it for a better item to a collector. It is no longer worth it on its own. It's completely mediocre. It's not even average, rarely used, honestly useless. Because if you have this item, you can just trade it for a much better item to a collector. It sits in that useless state where you should not be using it. You should be trading it. The clown costume, same deal. You can't get it anymore, and I feel like it's lost sort of its pizzazz. The value of speed and switching and running is kind of out the window. You can still benefit from this if you want to like run somewhere, but I just don't feel like it is worthy of being like in there anymore. It doesn't have the same magic as it used to. It's the same deal, right? It's a collector's item. If you have this and it's your best thing that you have, you know, just trade it for something better. The Ice Bomb I have on here, that's really funny. The Ice Bomb they increased its slowing effect, or they increased its damage. Still buns. Where did I put it? I thought, honestly, why do I even have this here? It's still an average. It's still an average item. Same deal. Like, it's not really something you should use. Use Slicer's Bomb if you really want to be like out there, outside the box. But Piercer's Flag, Mushroom Bomb, Venom Spell, those are like the big 3 you should be using these days. And that's the last note I have. Let me just once over the tier list just to see, you know, what I feel. Oh, Isabel's ring, I'm gonna actually move to average because it's really easy to get and it has good wisdom and mana. Like, it's honestly one of those items that if you get really early, it's better than a snorkel mask. So very easy to get. Honestly, snorkel mask up there. Toxic fluid, I'm moving to average just because these days it's really easy to get. You can like farm the desert. You're really strong, and it's worth it if you're like gonna bother. Warped axe, I'm moving down because now if you're gonna farm axe kills, use a blossom or floral axe. Lightning in a bottle, I still never see people using this. This is again like, you probably trade for it. The adventurer's dirk, right? Let's put it up. You know, there's people who still use dirk. I see it around. It definitely holds up, but there's just better damage now. You get a lot more damage if you want to be a dagger player. It's looking you right in the face, but it's staring. These little peepers are telling you to use this item. Use this item if you want to be a dagger. Use this item. Use these items if you want to use an axe. I'm using this right now. Slicer armor is still the king. Like, I don't think anyone complains about having a slicer's armor. Banana got buffed. Still not like a real weapon, but it's better for Frankenstein. Crossbow is honestly kind of mediocre now. It's good on phase where you slow things, but these items drop down, right? Let's move these below. The ghoul staff completely fell off. The ring of horrors is better than these items. The worm staff is worse than these items. Let me where's the ring of horrors? Let me bring the ring of horrors up. The crossbow is still like a good item. The lily staff, these things are still easy to get, which makes them really valuable. Really make some adjustments here. The robe of the worm, sick isn't really an issue. Let's move that down too. Nature ring's a hard one. It has a lot of value because of how easy it is to get, but again, it's average. I'm gonna move Isabel's ring above it though. The baller, I'm not moving. They changed it a lot. It's just kind of mid, honestly. The lush shrubs, I'm actually gonna move in average. So the same deal as the ring. They're really easy to get and they're pretty solid early game. To move this down too, just because the ballers kind of fell off and this is just a baller +1 item. Frank armor's the same deal. The top hat, I'm putting in useless garbage just because now that it's really not obtainable, it's a trader's item. Same deal. If you have this, trade it for a better accessory. You'll get a collector to give you whatever you want. The Ahi set, you're right. I'm moving the floral footwear out because its only benefit is running a John Doe dagger, and John Doe dagger's down there. The Ahi set, I think I'm keeping an S tier, but I'm moving it to the very bottom. It's really tough to get and it's losing its value, but it's still 12 range true damage. It's still, I still respect it as an item, okay? The coral staff will forever be there. That feels more fair, I'd say. Honestly, the Haunted robe is really far down there too, but quiet immunity is still super valuable. Baller at average. Baller is average. Oh, why is this dagger here? Oh my. What's the putrid knife doing here, bro? Let's put this in rarely used. Nope, you're not allowed to be there. The true ice armor I'll bring up because honestly, I consider using it now with the Crusher's armor to lose a bit of damage and gain 6 defense. It's kind of like, would you rather lose like 8 damage per hit or gain 6 defense? It's kind of like an argument between 6 defense or 3 attack when it comes to using a floral axe. So it's kind of up there, honestly. It's just annoying to get. I'm kind of a frostbow hater now. I'm keeping it in here with the lightning bow. They're kind of like these. I see these weapons as the same thing. The worm staff is honestly the bottom two. Like, it's kind of hard to do A tier just because like I wouldn't call these items average. Actually, I would call a worm staff average. Never mind. It's kind of annoying to, it's not worth going out of your way for. Kind of how it works right now. You know, if you have any of the items in S tier, you're doing pretty good, you know, mainly these ones. These are current meta items, I'd say. This is where it stands. Why is the Bloom Weaver in A? I forgot to move Bloom Weaver. Whoops. But the Rose Gauntlet doesn't even deserve to be here, bro. Like, I don't... The Rose Gauntlet's only purpose, because it's worse than a Ring of Horrors, is the Piercer's Bow. But I already said that. I think this is where it stands. Value that over that. Honestly, value these over that. I'll keep moving things, bro. Here's the problem with tier lists. You'll keep looking at them. You can move them forever. You can shuffle them around forever. What matters is the broad strokes. Everything used as garbage, you should not be using. Everything and rarely used, you know, you're just the minority of people using them. Honestly, Necrophase is also useless. Just same principle. Just trade it for a real item, because you can get some bangers from a collector. Snow King Blade, I respect enough, but I would rather have an Icebreaker or a Bloom Weaver. I think this is absolute cinema. I think actually, here's my move. That's a real chess right there. I think that's it. I think that's a solid, you know, list that really exemplifies what the current state of the game is in right now. Like, you're basically just seeing leaf daggers, axes, swords, and the rare piercer bow. and the people who don't have those items are using Reapers. That's really what it is. I moved the rattling bow for the same reason as the other one, but honestly, like, you can still use a rattling bow. It's pretty cool. That is the update. It's gonna be in 4 days. It'll be uploaded in 3. They're gonna do the Thanksgiving thing, which makes tiered weapons good. So tiered weapons may become my reason for moving things. Like if a tier 6 staff becomes better than Ahi Reaper, and you know, like a tier 6 sword becomes better than a Snow King blade, like we're gonna be shuffling things. But for now, this is it, I think. Like if I were a person and a noob appeared and they asked me what 15 items they should have, I'd give them what's in S tier and A tier. Like they would be on a good start with these items. Some of my best work, I think. No comment. This is late because there was a lot of buffs and nerfs and things. I think I like the meta right now. I think I got disconnect for being idle. I think the meta's good right now. This is it. This is what you should be doing. Use a mushroom bomb. That's all. My God, is it better? It is better, and you get to just have like 18 more speed. Wow. And look at that, bro. Like every time you teleport to the mushroom boss, usually you have to like wait and you're like not getting kill credit because everyone kills it so quick. But it doesn't matter if I'm not attacking. My ring is still there. Oh, I forgot to mention. Oh, in the video. Oh my God. I forgot to mention there's a universe where you can AFK kills in like the woodland biome or the beach with the floral axe if you're sitting in like a corner. Like if you had this item and you were in a corner, you could just AFK kills. But there needs to be a corner. All right, you ready? I'm gonna carry, bro. Watch this. Ah, my ring's gone. That guy died. Level 60 is crazy. That is 1,000 damage, right? And it stays around me for 7 seconds. So for 7 seconds, I have not lost the damage. Every other weapon, like if I throw this, it's gone, right? I can never get that damage back. But with this weapon, you save the damage for 7 seconds. And then like you can cash out by walking up to a thing and just going pew pew pew. So yeah, it's 7 seconds. I timed it. It's not quite 8. Where's Reaper? I don't need one anymore. I use the Crusher's Axe for long range. You ready? It's from the Floral Depths. Floral Axe, Floral Depths. How am I supposed to get 4 million DPS if I'm taking damage? Right there. Why does he have so much health? Why is everyone in the baller room? What is happening? Are you guys bugged? Bro, they're all frozen and glitched. What happened? Guys, lock in. You're not allowed to glitch in this game, bro. The game has never glitched ever. Game's lagged. What is happening? Why is everybody tweaking? I can't see shit, bro. The ring is not it.